We have always been told famous biblical stories. But what about the lost narratives? The Bible consists of puzzle pieces of individuals with different perspectives. From the desert to the mountains to the valley and the sea. Narratives lost between the lines in the margin.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Joris. I'm found in the 5th chapter of St. Mark. My name is of Hebrew origin, meaning God enlightens. I'm a ruler, a Jewish religious leader in my community. I'm dedicated to serve as much as you are today. I like to tell my story, although it took place some time ago, some ages ago. I believe, though, that it will definitely have an impact on your present day situations. I found myself in the essence and the aura of a great detail, although not much is mentioned of my background. So what makes me intriguing? What makes me noteworthy to be found in the scriptures? Why did God consider me significant? So much so that he introduced me to the world. I like to say that God said, "Look, take notice of how I will use this young man, me, myself, for his glory." The picture, not that it was very clear at that time to me, but I can see and say that the Lord I will run interference for him. I will be his shining light. My story began with my daughter, age of 12. She became sick unto death. I loved my daughter. My desire was to love her to life. As a ruler, I controlled many things, but this one, I needed hands that were larger than mine. As the light shone down from heaven, I remembered that God's greatest gift was love. I remembered that love banishes fear, love is persistent, love is trusting, love is kind, love is calm, selfless, humble, and love is patient. And I knew that God loved me. Remembering all these things, I remembered also that God prepares his children for the journey, that we are not succumbed by circumstances, but prevail in victory, that our victory also and always has been validated in God's plan. I didn't call my neighbors. I didn't call the priest. I didn't call my friend. I put status behind me because status had no place in God's move. I humbled myself and I called on Jesus. I fell down at his feet. I called Jesus, reverencing him and making my request known. My daughter, she lies at the point of death. I pray to thee, lay thy hands upon her, that she be healed and live. Jesus rose up and he followed me. Jesus was coming to my house. We didn't get very far, though, for there was an interruption. There was a woman who had an issue of blood for 12 long years, and she needed Jesus also. Great is his faithfulness. The crowd there was hard-pressed. I believe it was as if it was crushing, but I had no fear. I was persistent to go through. I needed to go through, for I needed my daughter to be healed, and I needed her to live. I was calm in my trusting, waiting patiently. Someone from my house had sent word and said that there was no need to call Jesus, for my daughter was dead. I learned to speak like Jesus spoke, And I remember he spoke to the raging sea and said, "Peace, be still." Jesus heard the negative words, and he spoke to me and told me, "Don't be afraid. Be not afraid, only believe." Arriving home, Jesus said that my daughter sleepeth, and I knew what that meant until the resurrection. The mockers laughed at Jesus, laughed him to scorn because of their unbelief. I asked Jesus in faith, believing that he would lay his hands on my daughter, that she would be healed. I needed her to live, and Jesus did just that. He took her hand, and he spoke in Arabic. He said, "Little girl, I say unto thee, arise." And she rose up, and she walked amongst those mockers. My name means enlightened by God. I am truly enlightened now. Not only am I enlightened, but my whole family. Yes, God has a plan for me, and it is written in his book of life.